Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the part 3 of section 13(1) of the Hindu Marriage Act, wherein I will cover the remaining grounds of divorce and judicial separation. Alright, part 2 and part 3 of section 13 clause 1 of the Hindu Marriage Act of 1955 dealing with the grounds of divorce and judicial separation have already been uploaded in my channel. You can watch that also. Alright, so as I told you that today in this video I will cover the remaining grounds of divorce and judicial separation as given in section 13(1) of the Hindu Marriage Act. So let's get started. Okay. Alright, so section 13(1) clause 2 of the Hindu Marriage Act of 1955 is dealing with the conversion as a ground of divorce and judicial separation. Alright, so on the ground of the conversion of the party, on the ground of the conversion of the spouse, also a petition for divorce or judicial separation can be presented before the court when one of the parties to the marriage has ceased to be a Hindu by conversion to any other religion, when one of the parties to the marriage has converted to Islam or Christianity. So on that ground, on the conversion of the party, also a petition can be presented before the court by the non-converted party. Okay, by the non-converted spouse, the petition can be presented before the court on this particular ground and a relief can be sought. Okay. Alright. So and the relief will be granted by the court when the petition is filed for seeking relief on this particular ground, and a decree of divorce can be obtained on this particular ground. Alright. So let's move on to the next ground, that is the unsoundness of mind given in section 13 clause 1 subclause 3 of the Hindu Marriage Act. Okay, so this clause is saying that when one of the spouses is of unsound mind, alright, and the unsoundness of mind is such that which cannot be cured, and also the other party, the spouse, cannot be reasonably expected to live with the person who is of unsound mind. Okay, so here the person who is of sound mind will be having a right to dissolve the marriage on this particular ground, on the ground of the unsoundness of mind of the respondent, and the court will grant a decree of divorce on this ground. Alright, so let's move on to the next ground, that is the leprosy. So on the ground of the leprosy also the marriage can be dissolved and a decree of divorce can be obtained. Okay, so section 13 clause 1 subclause 4 of the Hindu Marriage Act is dealing with the leprosy as a ground of divorce and judicial separation. Alright, so this clause is saying that on the ground of the leprosy also relief can be sought if one of the parties to the marriage is suffering from incurable form of leprosy. Okay, so the other spouse can file a petition on this ground. Alright, and also here in most of the cases it is seen that when a petition is filed on this ground, on the ground of the leprosy, that petition is filed only for the divorce, not for the judicial separation. Okay, so here party to the marriage will go for the divorce, not for the judicial separation on this particular ground. Alright, so let's move on to the next ground, that is the venereal disease given in section 13 clause 1 subclause 5 of the Hindu Marriage Act. Okay, so this clause is saying that on the ground of the venereal disease also relief can be sought by presenting a petition before the court when one party to the marriage is suffering from the venereal disease in a communicable form. Alright, for example, the party suffering from HIV or AIDS. Okay, so the other party to the marriage can seek relief on this ground and the court will grant a decree of divorce on this ground also. Right, so on the ground of the renunciation of world also relief can be sought. Alright, so this section 13 clause 1 subclause 6 of the Hindu Marriage Act is saying that when one of the spouses has completely and finally renounced the world, for example, when one of the parties to the marriage becomes sannyasi, so the other spouse can file the petition on this ground and the court will grant a decree of divorce on this particular ground also. Alright, so the next ground for matrimonial relief is the presumption of death given in section 13 clause 1 subclause 7 of the Hindu Marriage Act. Okay, so this clause is saying that when petitioner's spouse, when the petitioner's spouse has not been heard of as being alive for a period of 7 years or more, the petitioner has not been seen at least for a period of 7 years. So here the court will grant a decree of divorce on this particular ground also, and the marriage will be terminated by the court by filing a petition for divorce on this ground. All right, so these are the grounds of the divorce and judicial separation given in section 13 clause 1 of the Hindu Marriage Act. I hope all these grounds are clear to you, and in my next video I will cover the additional grounds of divorce and judicial separation given in section 13 clause 2 of the Hindu Marriage Act. Alright, so that's it for the day. I hope this topic is clear to you, and don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video.